What up everybody, Lex1 here, and I'm back with my first ever PSA graded hip hop card. Again, shout out to the homie Kahuna. He's one of the collector homies that I talk to a lot. Him and my boy Brain Power, we're like always chopping it up. Before we get into the content, I gotta hit y'all with the YouTube script. If you like content in the hip hop and collectible space, please hit me with a subscribe, like, and comment to help your boy grow the channel. Although in the last 2 years, I've slowed down in the hip hop card collecting because, well, there's only so much I could collect and I'm running out of space. That and the fact that now in this part of my collector's journey, I'm hyper focused on tying up loose ends, finding those missing pieces in my collection to complete sets, and getting certain toys and tapes and cards graded. And finishing the build from this man cave because as you see it right now is not how I intend this content space to look. So after years of collecting hip hop cards, I finally broke down, picked a few cards that meant a lot to me. I really wanted to have them graded and preserved. And of course, I went with PSA because PSA is the industry standard. I picked some of my favorites and I sent them in to get graded with my homie Kahuna. And to start off, we're gonna go with one of my favorite groups from Queens, Mobb Deep. This is a card from the 2012 Platinum League Hip Hop Trading Card Series. This card came in graded at a 6. Not what I thought it was going to be because it looked pretty damn clean to me. And this is a lesson in grading. The PSA grading system is based on a 1-point scale. 1 being the lowest grade you can get, 10 being the highest. I'm not going to go over each grade, but for this video, we'll give you the grade breakdowns for what we got back. According to PSA, a 6 is known as an EX-MT, which stands for Excellent Mint. All right, I could live with an Excellent Mint card, not a 10. 10 is the goal, but I got a 6. And according to the PSA website, a PSA 6 card may have visible surface wear or a printing defect, which does not detract from its overall appeal. A very light scratch may be detected only upon close inspection. The corners may have slight graduated fraying. Picture focus may be slight out of register. The card may show some loss of original gloss, may have minor wax stain on reverse, may exhibit very slight notching on the edges, and may also show some off-whiteness on the borders. Centering must be 80-20 or better on the front and 90-10 or better on the reverse. Wow. That's a lot of rules, and I don't know if I made all of those. Now, the next card I got graded was the 2021 Gas Trading Card Series 1 Czarface card signed by artist L'Amour Supreme. And this one came back with a grade of an 8 NM-MT, which stands for Near Mint to Mint. According to PSA's website, a PSA 8 is a super high-end card that appears PSA 9 at first glance, but upon closer inspection, the card can exhibit the following: a very slight wax stain on the reverse, slightest fraying at 1 or 2 corners, a minor printing imperfection, and slightly off-white borders. Centering must be approximately 65-35 to 70-30 or better on the front, and 90-10 or better on the reverse. Basically, if you want to get a 10, your card needs to be centered, dead centered. When they cut it, they have to cut it perfectly, which makes it super hard and super rare. Now, I'm actually surprised by this grade because the card came straight from the factory in a sealed slab. Like these Czarface cards from Gas, they already came slab, right? So before I knew anything about grading, in my mind, because they came so perfectly delivered and preserved, I thought that these cards were going to be mint, that they were going to be 10. I thought that anything that came like this from the factory is going to be an instant 10. Well, I was wrong. The next card I got graded, now I'm surprised by this grade as well, was the Be Real Spectrum of Stars autographed card by Upper Deck. Now, I was super shocked to get a 10 on this because this card honestly has been knocking around in my room. It wasn't really taken care of. It was a gift from Kahuna, you guessed it, a few years ago. He's like, hey, check this out. I threw this in your thing, or maybe I bought it from him. I can't remember. But point being, I didn't really care so much about this card when I had it, but I wanted to get it graded because 1, who doesn't like Cypress Hill and Be Real? 2, it was autographed and it was like a Spectrum card. I didn't think I was going to get a 10. And I got a 10. And if you didn't know, 10 is the highest grade you can get from PSA. It is a gem mint, and it is the goal always when you get stuff graded. A PSA 10 card, according to PSA's website, is a virtually perfect card with attributes that include 4 perfectly sharp corners, sharp focus, full original gloss. A PSA 10 card must be free of staining of any kind, but an allowance may be made for a slight printing imperfection if it doesn't impair the overall appeal of the card. The image must be centered on the card within a tolerance not to exceed approximately 55-45 to 60-40% on the front and 75-25% on the reverse. Last but not least, my absolute favorite card of the set, my super rare 1990 Panini Smash Hits Collection De La Soul sticker card, which came back with the grade of a 5EX-EX, which stands for excellent, but the grade of 5 honestly does not feel too excellent. On PSA's site, it says, PSA 5 cards have very minor rounding around the corners becoming evident. Surface wear or printing defects are more visible. There may be minor chipping on the edges. Loss of original gloss will be more apparent. Focus on the picture may be slight out of register. Several light scratches may be visible upon close inspection, but do not detract from the appeal of the card. Card may show some off-whiteness of borders. Centering must be 85-15 or better on the front or 90-10 or better on the back. Now, trying to find out what these were worth, I went on eBay, and the closest thing I found for prices that were comparable to these was $63.50 for a 1991 Topps King of Rap De La Soul card. It came with the PSA grade of 8, and it was again $63.50. There was a 100 or best offer for a Czarface PSA 8, which is exactly what I had here. There was a $69.99 and $199.99 for 2012 Mobb Deep Platinum League 8 and 9. There were no comps for B-Real Spectrum cards, and non-Spectrum cards, there were like $30 to $60 for any graded B-Real PSA cards as well. And that's about it. Thanks for watching No Hype, and make sure to stay tuned for more dope and rare hip-hop collectibles. Peace.